bird. So today we're going to take a look at this 2014 hot toy from the movie The Lone Ranger from Disney. So this is the character Tonto. This is what you would call the peg warmer of the hot toys. I mean, this figure is something nobody really wanted. And unfortunately nobody wants to keep anymore. My local stores and all that, they're selling this by the bundle. They just have this in stock. Nobody really wants it, unfortunately, but it's kind of sad because it's a pretty good figure. It was during Hot Toys' younger years, so there were some little imperfections here and there, but it's to be expected. So this is the only character they made from the movie. From what I understand, the movie bombed because of, I think, two reasons. Reason number one was because of the budget. It was like over budget or something. And two, because of Johnny Depp's portrayal of a Native American, which is, whatever. That being said, I liked the movie. The movie was fun. It was dumb. It didn't have some weird message it wanted to portray out to the public. It was during those days where movies were just fun. Unfortunately, we don't get those type of movies anymore. So with that being said, let's take a look at this 7-year-old figure. Shall we? And here he is, Tonto, in all his glory. As you can see, the first thing you can basically pick up is the hair. He's a pretty hairy guy. This is during the time where Hot Toys was doing that weird flocked or real hair kind of thing, which I'm glad they're not doing anymore. But you know what? For this figure, I think it suits him well because I don't think you could portray that realistically with plastic. So for fake hair, I think this one is good. Yeah. Let's take a closer look at him. Got the camera back a bit too much. Ooh. So here's a closer look at Tonto himself. Not bad for a 7-year-old figure. As you can see, the details are still there. One would say it's still on par with recent Hot Toys. As you can see, he has that fake hair thing. I think it suits well for this particular figure. I mean, if this was all sculpted, it would look, I think, 10 times worse. But yeah, for a movie that didn't do too great, and for a character that wasn't very popular, he came out pretty good in a figure form. I mean, all the cloth, all this. It's not bad for what Hot Toys did 7 years ago. So with that being said, let's take a look at what he comes with. Axe, knife, gun, bag, armband, bracelet, pocket watch 1, pocket watch 2, hand. So here's the stuff he comes with, quite a bit. So let's take a look at the axes. So as you can see, this is like a handmade type of axe. It's not really machine made. You can see the dents and the weathering. It's as if it's made of stone or something. You can see where it's all like cobbled together. It's got some beading. The detail work is nice. I mean, for 2014, this is pretty good. Got some ropes. Yeah, it's got some holes here. I don't know why. It doesn't really bend, so. Yeah, that's one of the axes. He holds it quite well. It doesn't wobble in his hand. So let's take a look at the second axe. So the length of these two axes are the same actually, but the only difference is the detailing. So you can see that. The head is also a bit different. This is slightly smaller than the other one. Got some beading here so he could hold the axe properly. It doesn't wobble in his hands. got some stemming too. So yeah, that's his other axe. Then let's take a look at his knife. This knife comes with a holder, as you can see. It's got some studs. It actually looks like leather. The holder, and it does come off. It's kind of pointy. Got some weathering. And this is the sheath. It does clip on quite well, but I would advise doing that carefully because it does scuff the rubber on his belt if you do it too roughly. So yeah, that's his little knife. And now I don't know if this is his gun or the Lone Ranger's gun, but what impressed me the most about this gun was this part. I mean, 2014, this impressed me. This little articulation on this little thing. I mean, Hot Toys didn't have to go all the way with this little thing, but you know, they even rotate this little barrel. You could see the bullets in it as well. If you could see the bullets, you could see the bullets. Yeah, so it was a pretty decent sculpted, painted handgun. Again, I think this is a Lone Ranger's because Tonto doesn't use the gun in the movie because I think he has a no gun policy. I could be wrong. I haven't watched the movie in a long while. This is his little bag. I don't know where this goes on him personally, so I just follow what the promo pic shows, just have it sling onto his hip. So this is the bag. It kind of looks like that fur from a buffalo. It doesn't open, as you can see. It's stuck together with string. So I just thread it through with these strands and he's good to go. And he's got his little arm bracelet. This goes, I believe, on his left arm. It's pretty squishy, so you don't have to worry about it scratching the arm paint. Then he got his other bracelets. These are great if you want to cover pegs on your figures. You deco them with bracelets so it covers that little seam. So this is what I like about this figure, because it helps cover the seam, because he's a half-naked dude. You're gonna see his his little connections, all that. So having these to cover at least some of it helps. So this is the, not stopwatch, the pocket watch of the villain. But what I remember from the film is the villain gave this to Tonto as when he was a kid because he wanted to find a silver mine. And when Tonto showed him where it was, he basically killed his whole tribe. So only he would know where the mine was. And I guess Tonto carries this around to remind him that he basically slaughtered his tribe because of this one pocket watch. So this one it's open. At least I think that's what happened in the film. Again, I haven't seen the film in a long while. I think I was in college when that was out. So let's take a look at his hands. Let's take it both at a time. So this is his hands. I mean, they're colored very nicely. I mean, for 2014, this is very nicely painted. You can see the veins and all that. This little tattoo. You can see the stippling and all that. No seam line. Oh, there's a little seam line there, unfortunately. But none on this hand. They do look realistic. I mean, not to compare now's Hot Toys, but you know, back in the day, these look pretty realistic. Then we got his grippy hands for his axes, or if you want to hold the stopwatch. And you can see the veins on this one. Yep. He's a pretty underrated figure, this guy, and not a whole lot of love was given to it. Again, I guess it's because the movie flopped, or because of the controversy of Johnny Depp playing an what do you call it? American Indian. But the movie was okay for me. It was fun. It entertained. Story-wise, was okay. And then we have one open hand. I guess I use this to have him hold the gun, like he's giving the Lone Ranger his gun back, like this. But from some promos, I see him holding the watch in his hand. So yeah, this is his other hand. So with that being said, let's put all this junk on Tonto. So here's Tonto all kitted up with all his accessories. It was a bit tricky, but doable. Yeah, so this figure does hold up to modern Hot Toys. I mean, unfortunately he's not well wanted as other Hot Toys, as he is a Hot Toy peg warmer. And when I say peg warmer, I mean like if you go to a Hot Toy store or a Hot Toy reseller, you for sure will see him on a shelf somewhere because sadly enough nobody wants him. He came from a unpopular movie and his character wasn't very popular in terms of being portrayed as a Native American Indian by a white person. I mean, is Johnny Depp a white person? I don't know, he's pretty tan, right? But apart from that, it was a movie that flopped and nobody really wanted him. But when I saw him the first time when I was a dirty little university kid, I was impressed by all the junk he came with and all the detail he had. But unfortunately at the time I wasn't really collecting, and unfortunately at the time he was up there in price. But as time goes on, prices go up and prices go down, and this guy's price definitely went way down. So I found him on a local listing a couple of months back and I snapped him up. He is back in box, but seeing how he is, I don't think the original owner took him out of the box because everything was plastic sealed. I think he just opened it and just kept it away for some reason. But yeah, this guy is pretty cool, and I think people should nab up these old Hot Toys because they're not gonna make this guy again. And he is a good space filler if you have that empty space in your shelf that needs filling up. So yeah, with that being said, let's take a closer gander at this weirdo. So here's a closer look at Tonto himself. Now, in terms of likeness, I don't really see Johnny Depp in this sculpt. Maybe it's because of the face paint or because of the lack of eyebrows, but I mean, in certain angles, I could see Johnny Depp, but it was 2014. Hot Toys was still perfecting their face sculpts, so I can forgive him for that. I mean, you could see all the cracks from the paint and all that. I mean, from this angle, you could see Johnny Depp. See all his head accessories, his hair, his little feather things. I mean, this guy is detailed well, especially again as a 7-year-old figure. He's detailed very well. Now again, he is a half-naked figure, so you will see some seam lines, like the connection joints and all that. I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, Hot Toys now is going with the the Phison body, so you won't see any of these gaps, these connections. I mean, what they did with Hellboy, I think they're going with that now, if they have another half-naked type character. You can see all that, all the little bits, all the little detailing. Yeah, I mean, this guy was Again, it impressed me when I saw this guy, I don't know, like 6 years ago when I was like wandering around a mall. This guy was out for sale in a local toy store. But yeah, I mean, look at that. But I couldn't get him at the time because I wasn't working and I had to save money for, you know, art supplies and school shit. So I had to prioritize. So I didn't really collect a lot back in the day, but now I'm going full ham and expanding my collection. So I could afford. I got some, well, especially for this guy. This guy was really stupid cheap when I bought him a couple of months back. If I were to remember, oh god, how much was he? He was like below $100 when I got him. So yeah, that's how cheap he was. I guess the guy really wanted to get rid of him. But you know what? He has a nice place in my collection, and I think I will give him the proper respect he deserves. So yeah, that's Johnny Depp as Tonto in the movie Lone Ranger, a movie that flopped, a movie that was over budget, a character everybody hated for some reason. But it was a fine film for me, and the character was memorable for me as well, because you know I like Johnny Depp's characters back in the day, not now. I think now he's just a caricature of his old self. Yeah, that's him. So let's stick this handsome boy in the shelf with his buddies. So this is where Tonto will sit with the Jokers and the other Johnny Depps. So yeah, in conclusion, if you guys are looking for new stuff to add into your collection, I mean, why not go backwards and look at the past Hot Toys releases? I mean, some of them still hold up till today. You don't really have to focus on the new ones and all that pre-order stuff. You could look back and try to get some of these guys, because they're not gonna make this guy anymore for sure. They might make him again, seeing how things are going. Also him. But him, don't think so. So yeah, that's my review over this classic Hot Toy. Maybe I'll review one of you guys next. Who knows? Well, thanks for watching, and go get 'em.